Hey everyone, Nubkeks here, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at some Artanis, and actually interestingly this game was the one directly after the previous video, which was on Tyrael. So yeah, you might enjoy seeing some of the same players and sort of some of that stuff carrying over and all the rest. This is a bit of a crazy Artanis pick, but hopefully the reason I go for it should be clear from the way the draft goes. And then we'll see how it works slash doesn't work in the game. So I think there's some pretty interesting stuff we can learn from this one. Yeah, anyway, we're gonna be last pick, so nothing too much for us to worry about at the moment. Nubkeks gonna be banned away for the enemy team, makes sense. We're gonna ban out Abathur, also makes sense. Falstad and Dahaka are still open though, so maybe the Abathur ban isn't as important. Basically, Cursed Hollow, the bans and picks normally revolve around globals quite a lot at the moment in the current meta. Falstad brings boss control, which is pretty useful actually on this map. Dahaka, I suppose, with his nerfs has fallen off a little bit. And yeah, we're actually not going to ban out the Abathur. I think I actually do prefer that as a choice overall. Moving away from the Abathur ban, considering there's so many globals, it seems like a little bit overkill maybe. But anyway, enemy team does grab Cassia. I think he played Cassia last game as well. So he's like maining Cassia at the moment. That Skullgore guy. We grab the Genji. And looks like we're maybe gonna grab Greymane too. We shall see. We shall see. If we went for Greymane, it would definitely open up Abathur as a potential pick for us. The problem with the Greymane, of course, and I quite like actually the switch to Li Ming here. I actually like that pick a lot. The problem with Greymane is that with Greymane and Genji, it could be quite difficult to actually kill Cassia. The problem is that the Greymane, it's very, very difficult to actually poke Cassia down because her physical armor from moving reduces all of his basic attacks, which is a huge part of his damage. It could just be very, very awkward for us. I like the Li Ming. Obviously, all of Li Ming's damage being ability based is going to be very nice against the Cassia. Tychus also a good pick against her, by the way, if you're looking for something. Much like Tychus is good against Illidan, Tychus is good against Cassia. But I think the Li Ming is cool. Also, the fact that the enemy team banned a Nubkeks means that Li Ming should work really well for us. They actually grab Varian and Dahaka. I think that's a very good rotation for them as well. Dahaka with the global with the solo lane. Then Varian. This might have been recorded before the tweak to Dahaka. I can't remember now. Can't remember. I think this might have been recorded before they did the rework to Dahaka. So bear that in mind. He's going to be slightly stronger in this video than he would be otherwise in terms of his damage. But anyway, it's a small thing, honestly. But yeah, Dahaka Varian is really nice. It gives really nothing away about their comp. So it makes it very awkward for us to actually ban or to counterpick them. Oriel's going to be banned away. Obviously, Oriel, the synergy with Cassia is fantastic. All the damage Cassia does. Oriel can provide blinds as well. It's pretty nice. Plus tons of healing. So I think it's a good one to ban away for them. They're going to ban out Arthas. Feels bad. That's what I was thinking of picking. That's what I was thinking of picking. But we'll have to pick up another tank. And you can see our options going to be a bit limited. There's still plenty. You see our teammate there was kind of switching between some different things. I know this El Polaco guy, like I said in the last video, he like plays Sonya, and that's pretty much all he plays. And he plays Uther when she's not available. So I was kind of hoping that he would actually take the Sonya here. And then I could support our tank. And then our Imba Lucky guy, who seemed happy to tank as well, could main tank. That would have been pretty cool. But Saylavi, he's going to be on Uther, which is still a strong pick, and Uther should be nice. They've got quite a lot of CC in the enemy team. Plus, probably quite a lot of single target focus with the Dahaka and Varian, so we can work around that. And then the Sonya is always a pretty nice pick as well in the front lanes. And yeah, I mean, I suppose Rag could have worked pretty well in this sort of setup too. And you see him kind of considering what to pick here. The enemy team grabs Raynor, actually. Kind of crazy. And then they're going to need a healer of some sort. Malf, yeah, Malf is going to be their pick. And yeah, it's kind of nice actually. Our teammate was saying like, play Tyrael, you're good at Tyrael. I was thinking this is probably, you can see why I'm going to go for Artanis instead. So Tyrael would be kind of okay. You know, we'd have the shields for the blinds. The spell armor that Tyrael has wouldn't get much value though. I'm thinking Artanis should actually work pretty nicely. The enemy team is very heavy on basic attacks, so Suppression Pulse is actually going to get a lot of value, and it should be very easy to hit it on both Raynor and Cassia. They're both quite immobile, so Suppression Pulse should actually get nice value. On top of that, we can build into our basic attacks. So this is funny, if you look at the chat, by the way, he's saying, "Your best but Artanis," and then the sort of happy face. I thought he obviously meant your best, but not Artanis. Your best excluding Artanis. Don't pick Artanis and pick your best one apart from that. I thought he was saying, play your best, but Artanis is really good. So I was like, yeah, great. He gets it too. Awesome. Let's rock it. Let's go. Artanis. Suppression Pulse against their damage dealers. And then, Titan Killer later in the game against the front line. I thought it'd be pretty nice. We'll see how it works when we get to the game. Let's see. Alright guys, and here we are in the game, loading into Cursed Hollow, running effectively main tank Artanis in this particular game, which should be kind of interesting. Our teammates were very skeptical about this, but I figured it would be okay. Looking at our composition, I'm thinking, alright, well, I mean, Uther's got stuns, he's got CC. I think this could work. They're very focused on their basic attacks for damage. I think Suppression Pulse could be really nice if we deny charge strikes from Cassia. That could be great. We can probably hit Raynor and Cassia. We'll have our damage later in the game with Artanis. I should be doing lots of really good damage against their front line. The flips should be actually pretty effective with Uther and Sonya to follow up on our flips. We could, lock down and kill someone. Even Cassia with enough lockdown, we could burst her. I think it could work. I think it could be good. We'll see how it pans out though. At level 1 I went for reactive parry in this game, and normally think this is pretty bad talent actually. But given the needs of this game, I said it's actually gonna be okay. Again, because they've got so many basic attacks, and because our main goal in this game is to be those for the tanky tank, right? We've got Sonya, who's the real damage dealing bruiser at the front. I figured that this would actually work out okay. Missed the flip on Malf, so that's not good. Really do need to hit those flips as much as possible for it to get value. Actually gonna chase in this away, see what we can make happen. But considering that the enemy team has Raynor, that's the main reason I went for the reactive parry, right? It should get a lot of value against Raynor, who's probably gonna have focus attacks at 4, so the reactive parry blocks will actually save us a lot of HP. And Raynor should hit pretty hard. I was just worried without reactive parry that I'd die very quickly and it'd be pretty horrible. It does mean that we're going to have less boss pressure, we're going to have less merc pressure, and my laning is going to be weaker, but then considering that our comp, right, considering that I'm not the sort of second warrior, it should be okay. If you are the second warrior, I really do feel like a amateur opponent is normally the kind of go-to if you're filling that sort of role that Sonya's filling for our team, where you are more focused on solo lanes. We actually end up in a solo lane in this one anyway. But, yeah, that's the sort of circumstance where I think it's a little bit better. I mean, Dehaka is obviously, you'll see, he's obviously played this lane before. He is wise to our tricks and he just calmly sidesteps that one. Feels bad, man, feels bad. Gonna come clear this out. And this is where things get awkward. You can see I was kind of saying as well, yeah, I'll try to do this, but I'm gonna lose this lane. Like, there's no way I'm gonna win against Dehaka, certainly not without amateur opponents. And outplayed by Mr. Dehaka, we're gonna use our W to dash to one of those minions to escape. But yeah, it's kind of just a stupid move. I kind of knew when I was doing it, and I think I'd do it immediately after again. But just really stupid, derpy move to blade dash. I was blade dashing through because I'm feeling the pressure of wave clear. Again, we get punished by the Dehaka. Our shield will protect us from a good chunk of that, but still we lose about 20% of our HP total. Not good. Dehaka leaving the sprays. He knows that he is kicking our ass with doing that twice. People are freaking out about something in chat. This Imbalucky guy, he's a nice person. Good communication there. His caps lock key is broken, that's all it is. It's just his caps lock key is broken. He's also dead, unfortunately. Oh well. Li Ming's moving in, so I'm kind of trying to bait this Dehaka. And it works actually alright. Li Ming lands a nice attack actually, and that forces Dehaka to pop his trait. out of fear. So not happy days for us. He's not going to have any of his essence available for this fight. So we'll definitely take that. Li Ming going in to channel this. A bit too greedy considering that Sonya is dead. It's actually probably a good thing we didn't hit that flip. We would have probably just died alongside her. Sonya's pinging Genji loads. I don't know why. Genji may have been AFK on that one. But to be honest, that was pretty much a lost fight. Uther wasn't quite there. Sonya was super late because she had died. So yeah, I think it's more so that myself and Li Ming were too far forward for that tribute fight. I don't think that Genji did anything wrong at all, actually. I think it was the two of us made something of a mistake. Particularly Li Ming getting caught out. We could have stalled for quite a bit. With Li Ming, you can stall for quite a long time. She got a lot of poke. So that could have worked out alright maybe in the end. But yeah, we are down half a level in terms of XP. We are pretty bad in terms of our team's mentality, I would say. People are not in a great mood. So yeah, we got a few things kind of working against us here, but I think there's still plenty of chance to come back in this particular game. Rainer's going to come around and start poking us. And as you can see, there's a fair amount of poke. You can tell as well from his micro, the Rainer player is pretty decent. But yeah, I mean, he's just Rainer, so he doesn't have any kill pressure on us, and the reactive parry helping keep us alive. Malf overstepped, gonna be able to come attack him. We're just gonna use the melee range flip just to ensure that kill, get him out of position, and down he goes. Goodbye, nice knowing you. Gonna start channeling on this as well. Good work by our team zoning off the Varian, who's trying to interrupt but doesn't get it, and they get some nice poke on him. So pretty easy tribute secure for us. In the meantime, the Haka getting split push value though, so that is something to be wary of. Looking for the gank on Rainer, but as you can see, I mean, he's not overstepping. He's chilled out, he's safe. He can see basically everything that's happening in this lane. He knows he's not in any particular trouble. Hello, Rainer. Now he can see us, and he'll also kick our ass in the lane too. I like the gank, or the roam here by Genji, the sort of attempted gank. Again, you can see Rainer. He knows what's up. There you go. He's even throwing the Q into the brush for safety. I don't think they had any vision. He's just, you know, Genji could be here. I need to be aware of that. Just a smart player, like good map awareness. I love that. That's a good example of really good play. Let's cover talents here. So level 1, reactive parry, like I said, getting that physical armor to be sort of tankier in the front line, especially against Rainer in these team fights. At level 4 then, shield surge, which when we're below when we're below 25% health, so when we're close to death, it increases the shields that we get from our trait, from our passive, by 75%. So that's pretty nice. We want to skip this one. The enemy team is going to hit level 10, so there's no way we can take this one. Unfortunately, we're just going to soak it. Actually, they left top lane, so that's good for us. I think they're maybe expecting us to contest this. I think because we're close enough, excuse me, because we're close enough to 10, I think they're expecting we might have actually contested this one. But yeah, it means we're going to get some, you know, decent damage up top. Bosses is something that of an issue, something we need to watch out for now. But yeah, I need to be ready to roam around for my team. At least I got the global of suppression pulse, so I can help in that sense. All right, Rainer's going to be up here top as well, so I need to be fairly careful from him. The Siege Giants are going to push in anyway. It'll take Rainer a little bit of time to clear these things out, so we're going to be able to push in. You can see him being fairly aggressive, kind of pushing the limits here. Rainer's actually got Rainer's Raiders as the heroic of choice, which is very intriguing. Very intriguing. Very unusual, but that's what he's gone for here. I actually walk into a gank. Probably got myself killed there. Yeah, I did. Yeah, that was derpy. Bad map awareness for me. I didn't think they would be there. Thought they would be elsewhere, but no. The enemy team does have better map control than we do, because we've got Genji, Li Ming, and then the Sonya who's been losing a solo lane, and then Artanis. So like we got pretty bad map control, and that death is really bad. That really sucks. It's going to give them a lot of pressure on top, and pretty much secures this tribute for them probably. All right, Genji got soloed up top, so this is very bad news. Li Ming got soloed down bottom. This is very bad news. A lot of that does come from my death up top, which should have been avoided. So rip team. We're going to come up and try to de-push this lane, soak that XP, and stop Rainer from pushing this in too much. But yeah, this is going pretty dodgy. So at this point then, our team is like, this is just a bad draft. I don't think it's a bad draft. They're saying no tank. This is the thing. And how many of the fights has that actually mattered so far? For the most part, we've just been in lanes. Like, have we had any team fights? We haven't had any team fights yet, as far as I can remember. So this is like, I think, a very classic example of really, really bad analysis and just finger pointing. Like, oh, well, we're losing because we've got no tank. But how's that actually affected anything? It hasn't really. It hasn't. There's been almost no impact from that. I mean, the fact that I could be playing any hero in top lane, right? That doesn't affect Sonya down bottom at all. Like, I could be a Murky, I could be a Karazim, I could be anything up top. We're top lane. We're completely, for the most part, we are completely separate from the Sonya down bottom lane. You know, we're solo lane against someone. It's basically completely isolated, right? There's no real overlap. So Sonya dying down bottom has nothing to do with us, certainly. And that stuff, yeah, it's really got nothing to do with the Artanis. We're not too far behind now, to be fair. We still got a chance here. I mean, people are still dying, unfortunately. We still have a chance. It's level 14. We're going to hit 13, so there's no huge talent tier advantage yet. Now, with those couple of deaths, there is a big risk here that the enemy could transition into one boss, if not potentially two bosses. So that is certainly awkward for us, but we still have, I think, we still have a chance. We're not so far behind, it's not doable. Level 7, I went for follow through. So, a bit of extra single target burst. I like this boss call a lot. The enemy team has definitely gone for their boss. There's a risk that they could invade us here and kill us, but I think we have to take this risk. I think, you know, if they're doing their boss and we're playing super safe, then they're just going to double boss, and at that point we'd be so far behind we'd be kind of screwed. We can also kill the boss pretty quick. Even though I don't have amateur opponent, we still have follow through plus triple strike now at 13, so we're going to be pretty decent against that. Speaking of triple strike, this is my talent choice at level 13. Our twin blades attacks, we hit 3 times now instead of twice, but increases the cooldown by a second. I'm going to spec as well in advance, so you know, because I might forget to say this at the time, but I'm going to spec into Titan Killer at level 16, which makes our twin blades attacks do 2% of a hero's max HP as bonus damage. So with triple strike, that's 3 attacks of each of our twin blades, so that's 6% of a max HP damage to a hero whenever we press our W. We should be able to do really nice damage to Dehaka and really nice damage to Varian if we time it around his parries in these team fights. So I think it should be pretty good. And also against Cassie as well, max HP damage, pretty nice. And I think that's kind of a nice power spike for us here as Artanis in this game. You know, we're going to bring blinds, we're going to bring good pressure against their front line. And that's basically the theory, that's basically what I'm trying to make work here. Enemy team commits to bottom. They went there to clear off the boss, they pushed through, destroy the fort. We probably need to Hearthstone out of top. No one went for the tribute. This is bad. Okay, this is bad. This is very bad. I'm the one who's running for the tribute. This is a big mistake. They're overcommitting to top fort. They shouldn't do that. So basically what should have happened there is they should have left me zoning in mid. One person should have grabbed that tribute and then we should have Hearthstoned out. No way is taking a fort worth losing this much stuff on our bottom keep. Losing the entire front wall and then the potential of keep damage is very, very bad news. I'm gonna go for a flip. Get Artanis, just do some pressure on him. And notice that poor old Genji gets caught. He actually just barely gets saved there with a Divine Shield. We're trying to keep him alive. Not the best target for us to flip, the Dehaka. But then I think the Suppression Pulse was good. That also saved Genji. Suppression Pulse plus Divine Shield barely keeping him okay and in this fight. In the meantime, our top lane is pushing, which is actually good. So we got Siege Camp pushing top. We've got the threat of taking Curse down bottom. Now the issue is that we need level 16. I was thinking that it would land pretty soon. I've actually overextended here. So I'm dead. That's my bad, for sure. I was thinking we would get 16 kind of passively from some of the passive XP that you get around the place. But kind of derp that up. So we're going to give up this one. That was dumb. That was just dumb. I shouldn't have face checked the brush. That was bad. And that was where not being a tank hurt a bit. That's where not being a tank hurt. Because it didn't have the damage. Anyway, our team are being really toxic. Like, I'm sorry to the Sonya, but it's like he's fucked up quite a lot of this game. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't think you can like really be that toxic in the draft and the chat when you've made so many mistakes. Honestly, that's my opinion. We're gonna throw in Suppression Pulse just to disengage, just to be safe. I don't think it was super necessary here, but it's a 50-second cooldown. It really doesn't cost us anything. We can mount up instantly again, as well, seeing as we were in the Hall of Storms. And there's not going to be a fight for the next while, regardless. So I think this is fine. Going to be able to take the siege camp. And the next tribute is really going to be the big fight for us. We're going to have equal talents, which is good. And we kind of need to win this fight and get a tribute. If we lose this tribute, the enemy team probably gets 20 for the next one. Then we're fighting down curse point for both teams on the tribute. They probably get cursed. They probably win the game with 20. It's pretty bad news. Uther's not here though, so this is pretty damn bad news. Yeah, looks like we're just going to give this one up. That's not good. I think that's really not good. I suppose the good news is that by giving it up so quickly, there is a chance that there won't be level 20. But this is so risky. I think that's so risky. I really think that's the tribute that you want to fight over. We shall see. We shall see. Okay, Genji finds the enemy team at the bruiser camp. Dehaka gets kind of caught out of position as well. We're going to be able to burst him down, and Dehaka explodes. Enemy team going really deep to try to take this bruiser camp. That is a huge mistake. That's a huge mistake for them. Screw up the parry timing and actually give variant stacks, but it doesn't matter. Gotta take this as well. So we actually get the bruiser camp. Big mistake by the enemy team. They should have run away. Just nice CC from our team as well. We killed a Haka before he could pop his heals. And like we burst him down without adaptation being active. So that was really nice. Obviously the Titan Killer working in conjunction with that, and we get ourselves a really good kill. Actually get some kills off of that. That was so good for us. Like we were on course to lose that game pretty hard. And also nice as well that the tribute has popped before level 20 gets hit. So that's another good bonus for us. Cassia having to defend up top, so that is great. And yeah, we definitely want to, we're going to be pushing in here for this bottom keep. Genji's not here, but I think taking this siege camp is fine. So we're going to be pushing in, helping the siege camp to help us push here. Actually make sure to kill it. Here we go. But yeah, with this we can hopefully get a pretty good push down bottom. You can see with the follow through and all that, we do nice damage against him. Li Ming gets CC'd and instantly killed. The rest of our team was very slow to follow. They were focusing on destroying that mid fort. I think they should have been with us quicker. So dodgy map rotations and stuff like that. Now we're getting a good push around the place on the other stuff. And at this stage, I think rushing the boss is actually okay. There is of course the risk that the enemy team finds this and invades and steals this away. But if we can race this down and burn this down again, pity no amateur opponent. Triple strike plus amateur opponent shreds the boss. But yeah, this actually looks really good. They're very slow in their rotation. They send a couple of heroes up top to try to defend against that wave, which is pushing in on their keep. So missed opportunity for them. They should have been here, and this helps us stay in the game. We've got a boss which is pushing on keep. This will help us get level 20. Well, I mean, we're going to have level 20 as well. There's no way we can stop them taking their boss. So we probably just want to push lanes instead. I mean, we're going in to maybe take a look. Yeah, no. But yeah, there's pretty much no way we could actually stop them from doing that. Anyway, we've got level 20 now, which is nice. We're kind of even on that regard. This boss pushing top is really not any threat to us. I mean, we still have some of the towers there, which is great. I don't know if that hit, but I figured it'd be worth. Yeah, we didn't hit Rainer. Rainer sidestep, but we hit a few of the other ones. I said, you know what? I need a little bit of extra keep damage. A little bit of extra keep damage for suppression pulse. It's a super short cooldown, so I think we can maybe make this work. I suppose the risk is that we're not going to have this maybe if there's a tribute that spawns right away. And we do need to win the next tribute fight. Like, we need to win all the tribute fights, pretty much. If the enemy team ever gets one, it's going to be very difficult to defend. So, yeah. I'm not sure what happened with the Sonya, but she's very excited about something there. She's very excited about something. Level 20 talent on Genji. I actually think it's a good talent. I actually think it's a good talent, that one. I mean, you can get Zanshin if you've got the Reflect. But like he's saying, I mean, his deflect gets interrupted pretty easily. The Shuriken Pierce is okay as well. But I actually quite like the X-Strike thing. I mean, if you hit a couple of heroes, that's the thing. With the X-Strike talent, sure, sometimes it's not going to do anything, right? It might knock 40 seconds off the 80-second cooldown. Hey, it's still a 40-second cooldown. It doesn't do anything for that team fight. But if it does, like, in those circumstances where it does work, that X-Strike cooldown at 20, if you get a second X strike off in the team fight, that can basically win you the game. It can be insanely good. So I think that's worth kind of considering. These minions are being such a jerk. We're like right on the edge of the aggro radius, and they actually dismount us, so that sucks. We definitely want to fight over this. I think our late game's pretty nice, honestly. We should have a good chance to fight against these guys. Raynor is super scary, but we've got Suppression Pulse, which is like, Raynor does no damage for 4 seconds almost, so that's good. Looking for a flip, trying to catch someone out. Li Ming is channeling the objective behind. Genji getting good poke on the Raynor. He actually gets cleansed. X-Strike misses. Well, that level 20 talent's definitely not going to do anything here. We get knocked back, but Genji secures a kill on the Raynor. Great dive, great follow-up. And just bad position by the enemy team. Dehaka now coming in. He's going to find himself in a world of hurt if he is not careful. Going to flip in the Malf, which actually gets all of our team like hit by Twilight Dream, which is kind of derpy, but we do kill the Malf as well. Sonya surviving just fine because it's late game Sonya against the enemy team in the backline. Genji almost dead though. We're going to burst down that Dehaka. Dehaka goes down. Going to flip Variant back in. Hello, friend. Screw up our attacks against his parry, which is derpy. I'm gonna die. No, I'm not. Heal from Uther plus our shield proccing does keep us alive. And yeah, this is gonna be game. Nice one. Very quickly, that turns into a big win for us. Just, again, I think that it was really bad movement just from the enemy team on that last tribute. Dehaka flanking, the rest of their team trying to push in, but they get zoned out. Li Ming grabs the tribute. And then Raynor, because he's Raynor, is out of position because he's got no mobility. And we're able to collapse. Dehaka's too late to the fight. Raynor's already dead, and then we just kind of mop up the rest of them. But yeah, as Genji's saying, like, I hit 0 people with that X strike, which was kind of hilarious. But yeah, it worked out. Raynor actually got MVP. Yeah, interesting game. I think the Artanis pick was just fine. And I thought it was very funny that at the start of the game, I think that's kind of classic, just bad understanding of the game is that, oh, we're losing because we got Artanis, man. Like, Artanis, we got no main tank. It's like, well, has that actually affected anything? No, it hasn't. I think Braxis is another really good example of where this happens all the time. You know, like we've had a couple of games where we had like a grey main in the solo lane and like, oh, we're losing because we don't have a second front line. We don't have a bruiser. We don't have a second tank, a second front line. It's like, well, he's off in the solo lane for the whole thing. He's doing just fine in the solo lane. He might even be winning the solo lane. It's not impacted anything on our side of the map at all. Like, he could be a tank. He could be, and it wouldn't have had any impact. He could have been a Murky, and you know, it didn't have any impact so far. You know, the team comp stuff, it can have a big impact, particularly in the team fight, right? That's where the tank thing could have hurt us. And a couple of times it did, for sure. But then I also think the Artanis worked pretty well in some circumstances. Like the flips, we had a couple of decent flips, which is okay. I think the suppression pulse was pretty valuable in the team fights. And then sort of the damage output that we could put out compared to a tank was actually pretty nice, especially against Dehaka. So I think late game, it worked okay. It worked okay. Was it the best pick? Maybe not. But did the pick work? Was it okay? I think so. I hope you guys enjoyed though, and I found that game pretty interesting. Give it a thumbs up if you did. You can check out social links, join the Discord, all that stuff down below. And there should be buttons on the right to subscribe, check out other videos on the right hand side of the screen here too. So thank you for watching. I'll see you all next time for more Heroes of the Storm. Bye bye.